What's up, people? It's your boy Ak.
And I'm Barack the Boxing Bully.
And this is indeed the DAZN Boxing Show. Thanks for joining us. There's some heavyweight action to talk about, but it's not only a boxer, it's an MMA legend. Jon Jones Fury talk here on the opening bell. Barack, when you initially read the headlines, you say, okay, Jon Jones is crazy. There's no way he can beat Fury in a boxing ring. And I agree with you, but this stemmed from Joe Rogan talking about an actual fight. And we know that MMA fighters, as you know, Barack, you know jiu-jitsu and stuff, that probably suits you well in a street fight, right? You can grab a guy, grapple, choke him out. So maybe Jon Jones will have success in a street fight. But listen, we don't get paid for fighting in the street. This is prize fighting. And Fury has a big ego. He responds to Joe Rogan and says, no, I'm the baddest man on the planet. And Jon Jones is not going to let that just sit. He says, let's make it happen. Now, let's be honest, Barack. I mean, Jon Jones has never been known for like being an amazing striker, even though he can punch, right? There's no way that he has a shot against Fury in the boxing ring.
Oh, okay. First of all, Jon Jones is amazing at everything. But to say that he can beat Fury in the boxing ring, of course not. No
He's
one
amazing
thinks
in
that.
everything in a cage.
Right, in a fight. And that's right, in a fight. And that's what Dana White is talking about. Dana White is not saying, let's go to the boxing ring, because Dana said Tyson will beat Jon Jones in a boxing ring. The only thing that I disagree with, because I believe that in a street fight, my money would be on Jon Jones. I believe that he would win. I would give him the edge in winning, that is. I also believe that this term, baddest man on the planet, I guess it was made up during the days of Mike Tyson. Right. It hurts my heart that it has to go to MMA. You know what I'm saying? But
wait, Barack, what if Fury lands a right hand against Jon Jones in the street? He can.
That's why you got to let me finish. That's why you got to let me finish. Boxing is one of the arts that is a special part of the arts. You know what I mean? Meaning you start off with your hands up and you start off boxing, no matter what, you know, and that gives Fury an advantage no matter what. And it's something that just about every fight uses initially. They use some kind of boxing technique, some kind of boxing stance initially, whether it's a karate stance or whatever, but you're standing up. So there's always a chance that Fury can land something. There's always a chance that Fury can keep him away from him with his jab and with his right hand. So to just say that Jon Jones is the baddest man on the planet, no, I think that's wrong to say, because they haven't fought. Now, do I have to give the edge in a cage where you can get grabbed, where you can get kicked? That leg kick will probably hurt the crap out of Fury. You know, I can understand that, but understand that back in the day, or, you know, I remember when in the beginning of the UFC, they were boxers. Back in the day, there were no MMA really, guys that knew all of the arts. It was really Gracie, Chemo. There was just guys who knew one thing, and that's it. And sometimes boxers would be successful. There was a guy named Pat Smith. He got beat by Gracie, but he got to the finals. You know, so it really.
The one thing that bothers me is Dana White talk. You know, he was so against that.
No matter what he says bothers you.
That's true. But I'm saying he was against the Ngannou Fury fight, and all of a sudden he's okay with Jon Jones fighting Tyson Fury.
That's a good point.
This guy.
That's a good point. I think even Jake made a good point too when he tweeted. He said, what was he said about Francis Ngannou? I believe when Francis Ngannou had won, he said, if I was Jon Jones, I'd be looking to go to 185. You know, in other words, Jon Jones, you got to stay clear of Ngannou. And now he's like singing a different tune now. You know what I'm saying? So because Jon Jones is his guy again. You know, so I get it. As a promoter, sometimes you're gonna sound hypocritical.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Talk about hypocritical. I don't want to get into any more talk about Dana White. I don't think this fight is ever going to happen. I think that Fury has a few fights left in him. I mean, and I know Fury is you know, his bravado is out there. You never know what he can.
He calls himself Gypsy King, bro. Right. And he stands by the creed of a gypsy.
No doubt about that.
He's willing to fight anybody at any time.
For the right price, because he's been vocal about that as well. The right amount of money, he's willing to do anything. Now, we all know there's a lot of money in Saudi Arabia. They want to put on big fights. Look, Eddie Hearn on this show confirmed that, you know, they are offering a big fight for Fury and Usyk and Joshua and Wilder. in Saudi Arabia. And those are the same, I guess that's the same promotional company that I think that would offer a fight with Fury and John Jones. But I just don't see how Jones, maybe he wants a piece of that boxing money, Barack. You know, we all know that a lot of these MMA fighters, especially starting. Look. He's complained about money before. Let's not forget. John Jones has complained about the money, and he's brought out in reference what Wilder was making against Fury, you know, when he wasn't getting the money that he felt he deserved, being that he was putting out the same amount of pay-per-view numbers against him in DC.
I remember that.
So he obviously had an issue with what he's getting paid. Now, you can't tell me that after the McGregors of the world and the type of money he's made, and I know that's a special type of fight, but he obviously will make more money in a boxing ring against Tyson Fury. So maybe he's chasing that bread.
No, he's not chasing that bread. I mean, maybe like Francis Ngannou.
Well, I'm not saying chasing it because he didn't initiate the conversation.
Right,
but I think it sparked something and said, wait a minute, I am the baddest man on the planet, AKA I can make $40, $50 million in this fight. This might work. But he can't go into that fight thinking he has a shot in a boxing ring.
See,
If it was a 2-fight deal, those are the 2-fight deals that I want to see, Barack. The MMA fighter going into the ring and the boxer going into the cage. 2-fight deals only. So if John Jones stepped in the boxing ring in that square circle and then Fury agrees to step in the cage after, I like the fight.
Okay, I agree with you on that one. But this is the thing. This is how I feel about it. What do everyone say when they say Fury versus anybody? Muhammad Ali or anybody, they say he's too big. He's skillful and he's too big. He has that much skill to beat everybody in a 6'9" body, a 6'9" frame. You're talking John Jones here, who is a great fighter, one of the greatest I've ever seen. But moving up from light heavyweight, going to heavyweight, it just won't look right in a box. I don't think anybody would believe, even MMA fans would believe that it's going to translate to him going into the boxing ring with boxing gloves on, 10-ounce gloves, and going to beat Fury. No way. This is not happening. So I don't think there's 40, 50 million for him to make. That means Fury's going to be making 60 million, and I don't think it's a $100 million fight. I can see Francis Ngannou, only because he's bigger, only because he has punching power or whatever, maybe people, and still how much can that fight be worth? I guess in Saudi Arabia it's worth that much because they're just giving it away, but I just don't see, I don't see John Jones and Fury being worth that much, not in a boxing ring.
Speaking of Fury, let's forget about these imaginary fantasy fights, MMA boxing. Let's talk about Tyson Fury. We still don't know who he's going to fight. We know there's a big offer from Saudi Arabia for him to fight Usyk. But, there's mandatories put out there. Maybe AJ might be a mandatory according to the WBC, according to Suleiman. We heard about the Andy Ruiz fight. Like, is this guy going to fight this year in 2023? And who is going to be the opponent? Because I'm sick of the storyline of who Fury's going to fight next. I just want to know.
You never know with Fury, man. I think he likes to just throw names out there. I think he likes to be news relevant, to be relevant in the news, whether there's something concrete or not. And you never know if he already knows who he's fighting, but just playing around with us. How many times has he said something that's just totally false, but he doesn't care? Maybe Saudi Arabia already made an offer for him to fight Usyk later on in the year, in December, whatever. And also Joshua's gonna fight Deontay Wilder on the same card. Like, the first rumors we've ever heard. And that's in the works, who knows? But to see him fight Joshua, because if that's the mandatory, that's great too. I kind of like Joshua's plans of, Franklin, and then because and then go to Dillian White, because you're trying to work with your trainer, Derek James. You're trying to get used to working with him and getting better at sharpening up your skill set, and then going to Fury. Because
he's already, has been openly saying that he's willing to go right into Fury.
No, I know that. But Joshua's always showed us that. He's also showed us that he'll fight. He really barely ever had any easy fights. He's been fighting. He fought Dillian White back in the day. So come on, So he's never really had easy fights. And then look at this Franklin guy. Everybody thought was easy, and he couldn't get him out of it because the guy's tough. He got a strong beard, and he's a very talented fighter.
Hopefully before the summer's up, we'll find out who Fury's fighting, who Joshua's fighting, who Usyk is fighting. All right.
Fury's always going to be a mystery.
All right. Well, that's our show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and love. Stay safe. We're out of here.
Introducing the new DAZN Boxing Show podcast. No matter the time or the place, getting your boxing content has become easier than ever. Tune in as we give you exclusive insights, predictions, fight night recaps, and more alongside the biggest names in the game. All for free. Available globally every Thursday across all audio streaming platforms and with new episodes dropping weekly to give you the latest news. Just type in the DAZN Boxing Show podcast, listen in, and enjoy.